The preseason has started, which means it's time for speculation and overreactions, and for me, trying to figure out who's going to break out for each team. What's going on, guys? Six Report here, back to the video, and as I mentioned, the preseason is underway, and today I'm going to be going through players from each team that I think you should keep an eye on and that could have big seasons. Now, just a couple things. Firstly, I'm only including 4 rookies, so 2 from each conference, and there's not going to be a lot of quarterbacks on this because I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. Didn't want to go the easy route, but I did include some quarterbacks because I'd be a fool if I didn't. Now we're going to start with the AFC, then we're going to move on to the NFC, and in the AFC, let's start with the East and the Buffalo Bills. Alright, and for the Bills, I'm going with Kamir Elam. This one was just too easy for me. They drafted him in the first round last year to go across from Tre'Davious White, and he started a handful of games for them, played well, and I just feel like in his second year, he's really going to show what he can do. He's going to be going up against number 2 receivers because, of course, White's going to be going up against the number 1s. And I don't know what it's been with corners lately, but it seems like in their second year, that's when they start to show what they can do. Don't expect Elam to be a Pro Bowler, but do expect him to make some plays for that Bills defense. And who knows, he could be the difference between a win and a loss for them. Jalen Phillips with the Dolphins. This was another one that was just way too easy for Phillips. This is somebody that was a former number 1 overall recruit, a former first-round pick, and a guy that made a jump in his second year, and I'm expecting him to make another jump this year. I'm not just expecting him to make double-digit sacks. I'm expecting him to be a Pro Bowler. That's how much I have faith in him this year. Very talented player. He's going to be a force for the Dolphins this year. I mentioned 4 rookies. This is the first one. Christian Gonzalez for the New England Patriots. For Gonzalez, I still have no idea how he fell to 17th overall, and he's going to make a lot of teams regret the Patriots taking him because he just fits so well with that Patriot defense, and Bill Belichick is one of the best at developing defensive players. Christian Gonzalez, I'm expecting him to be a contender for the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he might be a rookie Pro Bowler. I don't know, just expect for him to have a very good rookie season. Okay, so I made this list before the Dalvin Cook signing with the Jets, so I was going back and forth on whether I should include Breece Hall in this or not, and after some thoughts, yeah, I'm going to include Breece Hall. It's not going to be the season that I would have expected for him to have, but Dalvin Cook's not going to be an every down back for the Jets, and him and Breece Hall should make a nice 1-2 combo. I really think Breece Hall is going to be a very good running back for them. Who knows? There could be some games where Breece Hall ends up being the number 1 back, not Dalvin Cook. Hall is still a very good running back, and that's why I'm including him as the pick for the Jets for a breakout candidate. For the Ravens, I had 2 edge rushers. One was Odafe Oweh, the other David Ojabo. And I went with Ojabo. The reason I went with him over Oweh is because I just trust Ojabo a little bit more, but don't be surprised that both of them end up having breakout seasons. That's just how the NFL works sometimes. But with Ojabo, this is somebody that should have been a top 10 pick. However, with a torn Achilles at his pro day, he fell to the second round, spent most of the season in recovery, did get to play late in the season, and even picked up a sack in the final week of the season. Now, he's ready to go. And with the Ravens, nobody develops edge rushers quite like the Ravens do. They are one of the best at it. So I'm expecting Ojabo to be a force on the Ravens defense. Cincinnati lost both of their starting safeties. Luckily, they came prepared for that when they drafted Dax Hill in the first round in last year's draft. Had spot duty last year and even played a little nickel. Now, he is going to be taking over one of those starting safety spots. I'm expecting him to have a breakout season. A lot of people had him as the best safety in last year's draft, and he's going to show why. Don't expect a Pro Bowl season out of him like you would with Bates. However, he's a very good player, and he's going to help counter that loss a little bit. Cleveland, I went with JOK for this one. JOK, a lot of people had him as a top 15 pick, but he fell to the second round. He's been a starter the last 2 seasons. We haven't really seen that top 15 talent that a lot of us thought he did, but I feel like he might be ready to show that this year. He's going to be 23 years old again. 3rd season with the Browns, 3rd season as a starter. I don't know. I kind of feel like JOK is going to be one of the better linebackers in the NFL this year. Again, I don't know if he's necessarily going to be a Pro Bowler, but breakout candidates, they don't have to be Pro Bowlers. They just have to show what they can do. And for JOK, I think he's going to be very good for Cleveland this year. For the Steelers, you kind of can't go wrong. They have a caveat of players that you could consider to be breakout candidates. Of course, there's Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. I mean, Broderick Jones and Joey Porter Jr., they could be considered breakout rookie candidates. End of the day, I went with Pickens. And the reason I went with Pickens, have you seen what he's done in practice lately? Yeah, just way too easy. And for the Steelers, they just know how to develop their wide receivers, especially the guys that they take day 2 of the draft. Look at who they've taken, and look what they have turned into. Very good players that the Steelers have taken, and Pickens just might be the next one. I'm going with the Texans' 3rd overall pick in last year's draft, Derek Stingley Jr. Derek Stingley Jr., as a freshman at LSU, might have been the best corner in college football. That's how good he was. And he was affected by injuries his last 2 years, but the talent is still there, and you see it. Now, can he be consistent and stay healthy in the NFL? I'm going to say that he will, and I say he might be a Pro Bowler this year if things go his way. I was looking at the Colts roster, one name jumped out at me, and that was Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye was a first-round pick back in 2021, made a jump like Phillips did in his 2nd year in the league. Now, I think he's going to make another jump. I'm expecting double-digit sacks out of Paye. Not necessarily a Pro Bowler like Phillips again. You don't have to be a Pro Bowler to have a breakout season, but Kwity Paye, definitely somebody to keep an eye on with that Colts team. Jacksonville's one of my tougher teams, and the reason a lot of their young players have already had breakout seasons. Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, they broke out last year. Tyson Campbell, you could say, has already broken out as one of their starting corners. Devin Lloyd, you could say, was a breakout rookie last year. But how about their other first-round pick from that year? Number 1 overall pick, Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker, you knew it was going to be a few years before he really could show what he could do on the football field. You knew it was going to be a few years of development. I think it could be a force this year. I don't necessarily think it's going to be double-digit sack seasons like I expect from Paye and Phillips, but Walker has a lot of talent, and that Jacksonville defense is very talented. That's going to take some pressure off of him, and he could take advantage of that. One name just jumped out at me with Tennessee, and that was Chigoziem Okonkwo, their starting tight end. This is somebody that they took in the 4th round last year, had a very good rookie season. Now he's their starting tight end. This is somebody that is just very talented, somebody that's going to be a security blanket for whoever plays quarterback there and is going to make plays for that Tennessee offense. Chigoziem Okonkwo, definitely somebody to look out for with the tight end position. Breakout candidates do include offensive linemen, and I've got Quinn Meinerz of the Denver Broncos as a breakout candidate, their right guard. Somebody's got to step up on that offensive line, and I have Meinerz doing just that. Meinerz is somebody that has started games the last 2 seasons, ready to go. I think he's going to be very good for the Broncos. Kansas City lost a few wide receivers during the offseason, and that opens the door for Sky Moore to have a bigger role with this offense. Sky Moore had a terrific Super Bowl. I think he's going to take that momentum and show just how talented he is. Sky Moore, definitely somebody I'm high on. Can't wait to see what he does in the regular season. I don't know how, but I forgot to include the Las Vegas Raiders in this. I forgot about their breakout candidate, and I have Michael Mayer, their rookie tight end. They drafted him in the 2nd round. Darren Waller's no longer there. Somebody needs to take over that starting tight end role. Mayer was thought of as the top tight end in this class, and besides Devontae Adams, who else is going to help out Jimmy Garoppolo? Mayer, again, top tight end in this class, and I would not be surprised if he's a breakout player as a rookie, and that's why I chose him. Another guard that I went with for this division, Zion Johnson of the Chargers, was drafted in the 1st round. They've been retooling that offensive line to help protect Justin Herbert, and this, I think, is going to be a very good season for Zion Johnson, protecting Herbert, open up holes in the running game. One of the surprise rookies from last year was Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith kind of was thrown into the left tackle position after Tyron Smith went down with injury, and Tyler Smith held his own. Didn't do a bad job. Now, in his 2nd year in the league, I honestly can see him becoming one of the best up-and-coming offensive linemen in the NFL. Very talented, was considered raw coming out of college. If he continues to get better, sky's the limit for him. First breakout rookie for the NFC, I've got Deonte Banks, my 2nd rookie corner. The reason I went with Banks for the Giants just fits the system so well, and with the reviews that I've seen from him in practice and what he did in the first preseason game, I definitely think Deonte Banks has all the makings of a breakout rookie. and is going to be a very good corner for the Giants for years to come. Philadelphia's just been on a Georgia run as of late. They've taken a lot of players from the University of Georgia in the last 2 drafts, one of them being Kobe Dean, their 3rd round pick last year. Kobe Dean, some people had him in the 1st round, but he falls to the 3rd, didn't really play a whole lot last year, and now I think he's ready to go. I think he's going to show what he can do on the football field, and he is going to help that Philadelphia Eagle defense that they try to get back to the Super Bowl. A lot of people have been high on Brian Robinson for the Commanders, and I can't really say I'm surprised. This is somebody that, of course, is from Alabama, was a 2nd round pick last year, and is a very talented player. This is somebody that had a very good rookie season. I think he's going to take the bulk of the carries by the end of the season, and he could be a 1,000-yard rusher in 2023. Remember when I said I'd be a fool not to include the quarterbacks that I'm going to name? This is the first one. Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears, and I included Fields for a couple of reasons. One, he's just way too talented, and he's getting more and more comfortable with the Chicago Bears offense. And the second reason, DJ Moore. Do not underestimate the importance of a number 1 receiver to a young quarterback. Look at Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs, Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown. When that number 1 receiver comes through, it just makes life so much easier for young quarterbacks. And for Fields, again, he is a talent, and I just see him as a breakout candidate and really just shut some people up. Yes, Aiden Hutchinson did technically break out for the Detroit Lions. However, he was a number 2 overall pick. I want to see an All-Pro from him this year. That's what I want to see from Hutchinson. Maybe I'm setting my expectations too high, but Hutchinson just had such a good rookie season, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I could have gone with Jordan Love for the Packers, but instead I went with Christian Watson. Christian Watson was their 2nd round pick last year, and he had a solid rookie season. He made some plays for the Packers. Now I think he takes it to the next level and becomes the Packers' number 1 receiver at the end of the season. After Dalvin Cook was cut, I kind of feel like I have to go with Alexander Mattison. It just seems like for Mattison, he's been building up to this point where he can be a number 1 running back in this league. Do I want to see 1,000 yards? Yeah, I say Alexander Mattison gets 1,000 yards this year. Last year's receiving class was very talented, and it's easy to forget that Drake London was the first receiver off the board after Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave took the league by storm last year. But you forget, Drake London actually had a very good rookie season, Now again, this is another receiver that I think takes it to another level this year, gets 1,000 yards, and with Kyle Pitts healthy, that's going to bring some of the attention towards him and off of London. I think he takes advantage of that. And it will also help Desmond Ridder have a better chance to succeed. You know what else helps out a young quarterback? A very good left tackle. And this is going to be a season for Ike Ekwonu to show that he can be a protector for a young quarterback. Panthers drafted Bryce Young, and again, if Ekwonu is able to break out, that's going to make life so much easier for Young. He does not have to worry about his blind side. For Ekwonu, this is somebody that, don't forget, last year was in the running for the 1st overall pick. Instead, fell to 6. Panthers took him. Very talented player. Why not? I'll admit, New Orleans was probably my toughest team. I just had a hard time figuring out a breakout candidate. I could have gone with Trevor Penning, but I went with P. Warner, one of their linebackers. I went with Warner. Something about him just made me think, okay, this guy's going to break out for New Orleans. He's going to be a very good linebacker for them. Could be part of the future on that Saints defense. Yeah, just something about him made me think breakout candidate. For Tampa Bay, I'm going with their 2021 first-round pick, Joe Tryon. They drafted Joe Tryon for the future on that defensive line when their guys started to leave and guys started to get up there in age. I think Joe Tryon in his 3rd season is going to show why he was taken in the 1st round and is going to be a very good player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, this is going to be my last rookie for this video. Paris Johnson of the Arizona Cardinals, I think has breakout rookie written all over him. They drafted him 6th overall to help protect Kyler Murray, and I just think with his talent and the fact that he's going to be there right away, the Los Angeles Rams was another team that was kind of tough, and at the end of the day, I went with Russ Yeast, one of their safeties. Now, the Rams did lose a good amount of safeties during the offseason. Now, Yeast is going to go into a starting role, and you know what? Surprise breakouts happen all the time, and I'm going to go with Yeast as somebody to keep an eye on, and that could shock some people. My second and last quarterback for this video, Brock Purdy Brock Purdy, I mean, what more do we have to say about his rookie season? Comes in late in the season, goes undefeated, leads into the championship game, and if he does not get hurt, who knows what happens in that game. Now, he's going into the season, he is the starter. There is no question about that. He's the starter, and you know what? For Brock Purdy, he may not do anything special, but he gets the job done, and that is all that the 49ers need, and that's why I got him as a breakout candidate. And for my last team, the Seattle Seahawks, Charles Cross. They drafted Charles Cross in the top 10 last year, had a very good rookie season. Now he makes a Pro Bowl. That's right, calling it. I think Charles Cross is going to be a Pro Bowl left tackle for the Seattle Seahawks this year, going to be protecting Geno Smith, opening up holes in that running game, and those are the players that I consider breakout candidates for this year. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who else do you think could break out this season? And as always, I will see you guys next time.